With incidents involving aircraft at the forefront of a lot of the news you see lately, you may be becoming more apprehensive about flying.
But are crashes involving airplanes actually happening any more than usual? Brock Wilson takes a look at this year's trends involving airplane crashes. Brock?
Rachel, Mike, you may be surprised to hear airplane crashes are actually down this year compared to recent history, but that doesn't necessarily mean all air travel is perfectly safe.
If it's an airliner, I would have no qualm whatsoever about getting on that airplane.
Aviation industry experts continue to back the safety of commercial air travel in the U.S.
The safety of the airlines is just outstanding.
Consultant Scott Hamilton says commercial airlines have very rigid safety standards.
Not only for the airplanes with the maintenance standards that they have to comply with, but pilots have to meet minimum standards before they're even hired.
But don't just take his word for it. Let's look at the data. The National Transportation Safety Board says the U.S. has had the fewest number of accidents involving airplanes at this point in the year ever. Individually, January saw its third lowest total of airplane accidents. March saw its second lowest total of airplane accidents. But that doesn't mean you should feel safe about all air travel.
Private airplanes, that's where accidents happen. Helicopters, that's where accidents happen.
Hamilton says he's not itching to get on a helicopter anytime soon.
The FAA does not have the resources needed to give the same level of safety scrutiny to helicopter companies or small commuter airlines.
But why?
Congress has never properly funded the FAA to give them the resources.
But that still doesn't explain why we feel like there are more airplane crashes than usual. Well, Hamilton has one theory.
Well, you got 24/7 cable news networks. You have social media. Everybody has a camera on their phone. Everybody's a reporter, so to speak, and so it gets more publicity because of that.
Hamilton says if you're concerned about the safety of non-commercial flight, you should take that concern to Congress. He says the only way to make non-commercial flights safer is to better fund the FAA. Mike?